Welcome to today's topic, uses of poultry litter and feathers. The authors are Dr. Anand Lakshmi and Dr. A.K. Mahapatra, Principal Scientist, Directorate of Poultry Research, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad. In India, poultry industry is the fastest growing agro-based industry. Due to intensive poultry production, there is every chance of major environmental problems with poultry waste such as pollution, pathogens and odor. Management of different variables in production houses must be maintained for optimum growth of birds and health. There is large amount of accumulation of poultry related waste in terms of litter, manure, etc. and the extent of waste production. Now, the major challenge in manure management is the sheer volume and the health risk posed by raw manure as it accumulates. With the poultry expanding, the litter obtained is more, and so it should be used judiciously. And it is mainly consists of feces and urine of chickens. Now, poultry litter contains 13 plant nutrients including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, manganese, copper, zinc, chlorine, boron, iron and molybdenum. The composition and quality of poultry litter varies with the types of poultry, types of litter used, diet and dietary supplementation, and way of collection and storage. With increase in storage time and processing, the nutritional value of the poultry litter varies, so we should be careful. Now, how to do it? Take the used bedding and put it into a compost bin, water it thoroughly, and then turn the pile every few weeks to get air into the pile. It takes about 6 to 9 months on average for chicken manure compost to be done properly. When composting is performed properly, the biodegradable waste is transferred into a stable, relatively odorless compost product. This product is devoid of harmful bacteria and can be safely used to augment nutrients in the soil. It is known that composting is an efficient method for destruction of pathogenic organisms. Composting of poultry manure can be done with paddy straw or sorghum straw. Now, why this is done? This increases the carbon, nitrogen and phosphorus compound content, and the carbon to nitrogen ratio should be maintained between 25 to 30. First, composting has to be done. It's an aerobic process in which decomposition of organic materials takes place. Adding water to keep the moisture level between 35 to 50% results in humus-rich product which can be used as fertilizer. This can then further be used as a fertilizer in agriculture. Now, for the chickens raised in cages, litter will be free of bedding material. But when they are in a free range system, the deep litter system waste is mixed with the bedding material. Now, the bedding material consists of rice husks, wood shavings, dried leaves, etc. And these bedding material also contributes to the nutrients of the chicken litter. Poultry litter contains lot of energy and fertilizer sources which can be utilized for the betterment of agriculture. There are basically 4 general methods for producing compounds, that is static pile, standard windrow, improved windrow and in-vessel agitation. Now, in windrow method, composting materials are placed on ground in straight lines and compost should be turned periodically. Aeration is by movement of passive or natural air. Aeration is performed by blowing air from the bottom so that negative pressure will be created. It removes foul air and allows fresh air to enter. The height of windrow may be 2 to 3 inches tall and the composting time is 3 to 6 months. Now, while composting, the following precautions should be taken. Composting should be done on a suitable base to prevent mixing with groundwater. It should be protected from rain and wind to prevent water or moisture absorption in excess and not to get contaminated. When the pile is too dry or too wet, it creates problems for production of dust and excess odor is emitted. The moisture should not be in excess, it should be around 45 to 50%. Now next is vermicompost. It's an excellent method and it can be used in a small space. The work is done by the worms. The finished compost should be covered, otherwise there are chances of breaking the compost. The compost pile with the worms should be turned every 7 days and it requires the following elements: oxygen, moisture, heat, the makeup and balance of compostable materials. Now, depending on the type of microorganisms, it is called as aerobic or anaerobic composting. In the compost, different types of bacteria are enteric bacteria, spore-forming bacteria, and diazotrophic bacteria, whose number depends according to the availability of nutrients. Fungal and algal populations help in composting and assisting bacterial populations. The composting process could be divided into 2 stages: the active stage and the curing stage. Generally, these 2 stages require a period of more than 2 months before the stabilization of the product takes place. Now, while composting, during thermophilic period, large amount of ammonia is released. This excess of ammonia which is released, it reduces the fertilizer effect, which causes acidification and eutrophication. And the loss of excess of ammonia also reduces its agronomic value. So we should be careful. Curing is the final stage of thermal compost process. During curing, the rate of decomposition is low but still occurring and stabilization is underway. Humification of organic matter is underway, and when curing is finished, there is maximum humus levels in the compost. Loss of ammonia can be reduced by co-composting poultry manure with a material rich in organic carbon and deficient in nitrogen, which is paddy straw or dry leaves. It can be composted. Now, heaping of used poultry litter reliably induces elevations in temperature due to the actions of aerobic bacteria and fungi. The temperature can reach over up to 50 degrees centigrade in 1 to 4 days and can also peak up to more than 60 degrees. This is called pasteurization, which can eliminate or reduce the range of pathogens. A common target for litter pasteurization is heating to 55 centigrade for a minimum of 3 days. The factors influencing heating potential include carbon to nitrogen ratio, moisture content, oxygen availability. Now, the next is when it is being used as a fertilizer to crops, the disadvantages are it can have adverse effect and can reduce the yield of crops associated with the high rate of poultry waste application. Now, the effects may be attributed to the toxic concentration of ammonia, nitrate, nitrite, and soluble soils. Soil treated with poultry litter causes imbalance in nitrogen to phosphorus ratio of the soil when phosphorus accumulates. It causes increase in the organic matter content in the upper layer of the soil. Poultry manure is treated to avoid unpleasant odors and to obtain a final product with a high dry matter content and stabilized with respect to organic matter. Now we see that composting work has been done at our institute. Now in our institute, the chicken litter was there. The dry matter percentage was 92.3, organic carbon 45.2%, carbon to nitrogen ratio on dry matter basis was 16.03, total nitrogen percent was 2.82, total phosphorus 1.53, total K2O percent was 1.1. Now the composition with respect to different minerals which were present: iron in part per millions, iron, zinc and copper were 1002, 223 and 29 respectively, and manganese was 311. Calcium and magnesium in percentages were 1.03 and 0.52%. Now the composition of the dry leaves, rice hull, straw and sawdust. So in all these four constituents, the copper contents in ppm was 1.14, 1.2, 1.34 and 1.28, whereas manganese was 0.25, 0.25, 0.62 and 0.41 respectively, whereas calcium in percentage was 1.52, 0.1, 0.33, 20.3. Phosphorus in percentage was 0.1, 0.07, 0.06 and 2.5 respectively. Potassium also 0.36, 0.55, 1.3 and 9.6 respectively. The composition of the supplements with respect to carbon, manganese, calcium, phosphorus and potassium are given in the table in different supplements. Now coming to the presence of organic carbon, total nitrogen percentage, carbon to nitrogen ratio on dry matter basis, iron and zinc in parts per million are given in this table. Now the carbon to nitrogen ratio, which is the critical factor for the formation of the compost in different supplements and poultry litter, was observed as such: 15.97 in poultry litter, 46.67 in dry leaves, 137.5 in straw and 316.67 in sawdust and 3.03 in rice hulls. Now the poultry litter with dry leaves in our institute, when with the different carbon nitrogen ratios is shown in the picture. The weight of the litter was 40 kgs, and in different cases, when it is 35:1, the litter weight was 13 and dry leaves was 46, and similarly when litter was 40 kg, dry leaves was 40, and when litter was 80 kg, dry leaves was 800 grams. This particular composition gave rise to carbon to nitrogen ratios in a different way. The temperature was 36.2, relative humidity and pH range were different for different compositions. Now this is the video which you can see how the poultry litter with dry leaves can be used. Now when you open this video, you can see the litter and the supplements are there present in this litter in a different carbon to nitrogen ratio. Like that it was done in triplicates. You see the litter with the supplement, like anything, it can be dry leaves. In this case there is dry leaves, so they are mixing it with the hands. So the mixing with the hand should be done properly So there is uniform mixing at every state and at every corner of the trough in which the litter and the supplements are placed. This was being done at our poultry farm, and this was done by principal scientists. This work is being done under the guidance of Dr. R.K. Mahapatra, principal scientist at Directorate of Poultry Research, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad. So you see that gradually the litter with the supplements is being pulled to one side and uniformly it is being mixed up. It is a tedious process because one has to be careful that it should not go into your lungs. Now, after seeing how the poultry litter is mixed with dry leaves, you see after day 15 how these look like. These are the same things which were mixed before in front of you people. So you see with 15:1 is the looking very dark, and then 25:1 followed by 35:1. Now this is at 57 days how the compost looks. This is day 1 followed by 15 days, then followed by 57 days. So you see the temperature after 15 days is 42, 41 and 31.6 with varying ratios of carbon to nitrogen and with varying concentration of litter. At 57 days, the temperature is coming down and relative humidity is slightly increasing in different ratios of carbon nitrogen. Now after this, what it was observed was, out of these three ratios which were used, carbon to nitrogen ratios of 35:1, 25:1 and 15:1, 25:1 gave the best results with respect to plant height, number of branches per plant, etc. So now you can see in the figures they were shown the germination of gram plants was done in each pot, and the different composition of the fertilizers with respect to carbon to nitrogen with poultry litter were applied to the soil in which the gram plants were germinated. So these were the plants which germinated, and it was observed that plant height and branches as well as number of the pot length, number of seeds per pot and seed index, stover yield and stover yield per pot. So you see that in all these cases 25:1 ratio gave the best results compared to 35:1 or 15:1 ratio. So this was the work done at our institute. Now again we see that litter, it is just not used for fertilizer, but it can be used for production of biogas. Now the poultry litter presents high reactivity and can be used as a fuel which is rich in volatile material. Its sustainable use as energy can be obtained via thermochemical process. Here it is anaerobic digestion through combustion, gasification, pyrolysis, then power generation. Now biogas production from organic materials not only produces energy but preserves the nutrients which can be recycled back to the land in the form of slurry. So after extracting energy, the slurry can be posted onto the land. Now the poultry litter with moisture content less than 15% can be burned directly as fuel to generate heat energy. Now droppings contain nutrients, hormones, antibiotics and heavy metals which can wash into the soil and surface water. So we should be careful to see that these things don't go into the fuel while converting waste into fuel, and researchers are working on it. So researchers have developed a process to pre-treat chicken droppings and have anaerobic microbes then digest the waste. So in Mexico, the Mexican flowers were co-digested with the droppings, and it was found that 8 kilograms of poultry waste and sunflowers produced more than 3 kg of biogas. It was more than enough fuel to drive the reaction, such as powering a generator. Now, biogas production in a way contributes for mitigating climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emission and sequestering carbon. Now in Nepal, it is being used as a technology for meeting household energy requirement. Many states in US are producing a huge amount of turkey and broiler waste, and it is being used as renewable green resources and to produce electricity. Biogas generally comprises of 55 to 65% methane, 35 to 45% carbon dioxide, 0.5 to 1% H2S, and traces of water vapor. Now the biogas plants are available where the biogas is being produced. There are three basic designs: fixed dome, floating cover, and backtat, which have been used in a number of countries. Now for domestic purpose, biogas is used for cooking and lighting. It is through use of microorganisms which in turn produce biogas, liquid fuel, and nutrient-rich solids. Now in the second case, that is by thermochemical method, heat or chemicals are used to carry out pyrolysis for production of biogas. With the advent of new technologies, poultry waste like litter can be used for generation of power energy, which can be used for electrical operations. Now, the electricity which is generated can be used to light the poultry houses and also in the usage of automated systems, which can reduce the normal electrical cost. The remaining slurry after production of biogas was found to be enriched compost in the biodigester after biogas production and was suggested for the improvement of agricultural soil nutrient and productivity. Now, in Australia, Darling Downs Fresh Eggs is the first Australian egg producer and one of only a few in the world to use renewable energy as electricity generated from poultry manure by anaerobic digestion. The company in turn reduced its grid electricity usage. Every kg of organic matter yields 0.5 millicube of biogas, and this biogas between 50 to 60% methane has a heating value of 5 to 6 kilowatts. For comparison, 1 liter of diesel has a heating value of 10.4 kilowatt and 1 m cube of natural gas has a heating value of 9.3 kilowatt. So 1000 kg of chicken litter with 55% dry matter containing 42% of organic matter will yield approximately 200 m cube biogas. In India, from broiler and layer hatcheries, 9,486 million tons of poultry waste is produced. So this is considerably huge amount. And per day 1.69 million m cube of biogas can be produced from this huge amount of poultry litter. And for every 1 m cube of biogas, 2 kilowatt electricity can be generated. So this is theoretical. So now the composition, etc. The poultry is litter with a mixture of rice hulls, sawdust and excreta of broilers and layers mixed with the co-substrate cow dung and poultry used for the production of biogas yields methane up to 71, 72.5, 72.6 and 70% respectively. Co-digestion of chicken manure from layers and spent poppy straw was investigated in a daily fed laboratory scale with mesophilic anaerobic digester. Similarly, biogas production from mixture of poultry manure and cheese waste water was done. Batch experiments were performed under mesophilic conditions at 37 degrees C and pH from 6.5 to 7.5. In a co-digestion process, the content of nutrients as well as the negative effects of toxic compounds should be balanced. At the same rate, it should increase the gas yield. Now this is a biogas plant in Northern Ireland which is capable of converting 20% of the country's poultry manure into electricity. And a unique system of technology. This innovative technology strips the nitrogen as part of the process, which allows up to 100% poultry manure to be digested. Now the way how it is done is, when the poultry manure arrives on site, it is fed into 2 industrial sized hoppers with walking floors that feed it to the next stage where it is mixed with recirculated liquid before being pumped into the digesters. During the mesophilic digestion process, bacteria break down the litter and produce biogas. The total digestion time is approximately 45 days, and the biogas produced by the plant is fed into 1.5 milliwatt gas engines that generate electricity on site and then is sold to national grid. The digestate is pasteurized before being separated into fiber and liquid fraction. Most of the liquid fraction passes through an ammonia removal process before being mixed with the incoming poultry litter. The remaining liquid and the fiber digestate are safe, nutrient-rich fertilizers which can be used by farmers. And the electricity is exported to the grid and is enough to power 4,000 homes. Now the uses of chicken feathers. Chickens have 3 types of feathers on the wing. The top section closest to the body consists of small rounded feathers called coverts. The middle feathers are longer and are called secondaries. The longest and largest feathers are on the end of the wing and are called primaries. So you see many of the feathers drop out, and still it has been seen that usage of feathers can be done for the human welfare. Now the University of Delaware students put their best foot forward at National Sustainable Design Expo in 2018, showing off a biodegradable shoe they fashioned using mushrooms, chicken feathers and textile waste. Now the use of feathers. Keratin in the feathers can be used in the production of a wide variety of products such as pillow stuffing, diapers, insulation, upholstery padding, paper, plastics and feather meal. The feather meal which is produced, it is applying through high pressure steam processing method similar to autoclaving followed by drying. Heat and steam hydrolyze the feathers into a cysteine rich high protein product that is 60% digestible. The list of things that the keratin rich material in the feathers has been used to make is vast. dishes and furniture, clothing, circuit boards, wall insulation, filters, and planting pots. Feathers have been used in insulating materials. It has been used as absorbents, and some have used it in the product preparation of cement. The protein obtained from the feathers can be used as a binding agent in textile industries and textile printing. So, what we can say is good management practices for safe and beneficial utilization of poultry manure for sustainable production and for other alternatives should be explored, which will have negligible effect on environment should be developed. Knowledge is also required for the effective planning and operation of waste management system that is appropriate for a particular environment. Thank you.